I'm Rezlar.
I'm Frosty.
As nobody's really engaged quite yet.
Yep. Oh, there we have been. Oh, was that a triple stun for the Mystic?
And welcome back to the Value Pack. And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Value Pack. Yeah, I got nothing. Let's just jump right into it, so to speak. Our guest today, very well-known Mystic, one of the best players to ever enter the arena of Arsha. It is DildoDragon. Thanks for coming on, sir.
Hello.
Do you feel like you're one of the best mystics in NA?
I feared to say that when I actually play the game, but now I quit. Yeah, I can say that. Yeah, I'm one of the best mystic, probably the best mystic. If you don't agree with that, name another mystic who can beat me, right?
Yeah. Were there any mystics that could beat you?
No.
Okay.
You obviously never fought Frosty, one of the greatest mystics to ever walk the earth.
Well, no, I haven't fought him.
No, I
Too bad.
I haven't been mystics for a long time, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I wanted to have you on, is because Mystic has gone through some fucking ups, like some way ups, and some way downs.
I actually think
Yeah.
I think the only class who has like reached like such high peaks and fallen further might be Warrior. If you consider the first week or the first 2 weeks of him having Awakening and nobody else having it being his peak.
The best of times.
Yeah. I mean, but really though, is there any class who was like so powerful and then now is like so like bad?
I think DK was like very OP when it's first released because I was a DK main back then.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I could like use the Lexi to just almost one shot warrior with a shield on or Valkyrie with shield on.
Yeah, the good old days when we were all accuracy
Yeah.
offhands.
Yeah, well, everybody had like the super armor, but as a DK, you can just stay in range and use 2 skills, and they're dead.
Right.
Now look at the DK damage. Right? Oh, well, they're getting back with the succession, so it's
their
good.
succession's busted. All right, so let's go all the way back to the beginning. You started off as DK. How long have you been playing BDO? And did you play Mystic like right when it came out? And you started playing Mystic since, right? Or you've been playing it since?
No, I first started the video like when it's officially released.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, I played Sork for about a year, and I played DK, I played Striker, I played Mystic. I just want to try different things. When the new class comes out, I want to explore everything that's new to me. So, for Mystic, I started playing Mystic, I think 3 months after Mystic was released.
Right.
And ever since that, I've played Mystic. Yes.
And you've been in love ever since. All right. So at the time, though, when you first started playing Mystic, this is like in the heyday of Mystic. Mystic probably had. I'm trying to think because the CC changes actually came out. People forget this, like not that long after Mystic came out. So Mystic was only really out for about 4 months because it came out in December. The Awakening came out in January of 2018. And then CC changes were like in April, like the end of April or May or whatever, beginning of May.
Yeah, correct.
So during that first 5 months, you only really played for like a month or two in that time, right?
Yeah,
right. Of Mystic. So Mystic, though, at that time was fucking insane.
I know.
Like, because we had everything, right? So, because I started playing Mystic right when it came out, we had, first of all, like a ton of protection, but we had Renown score helping us. So even if your gear was kind of low, but whatever, it was you were tanky as shit because everyone was kind of tanky. So Mystic felt even more tanky. The magic DP was higher. All the evasion buffs were not quite nerfed yet, so it was OP as shit. And then after the CC changes, I remember a lot of Mystics actually quit at first because they thought it was bad. Do you remember that?
Right. True.
But you didn't think it was
So-
bad.
No, I didn't think that's bad. Actually, I made like 2 YouTube videos out of that, like after the CC changes, because you remember like the CC changes wasn't done like at the same time at the same patch.
Right,
They
right.
did like in several patches.
Mhm.
Even after the second time they nerfed the Mystic's super armor, I still felt the Mystic was strong. Like we still had our signature skills there.
Right.
So yeah.
So fast forward a year, Renown gets removed. That affects Mystic, kind of, right? Because Mystic is a brawler class. Twisted Collision Frontal Guard gets removed. Prey Hunt Stiffness gets removed. The Evasion gets reduced. The Magic DP gets reduced. And then, I don't know if you remember this, but the Wizard, Witch, and Dark Knight all got a buff one day that was like they just do 10% more damage for Strikers and Mystics. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and then Archer came out, and now what is the state of Mystic in your opinion?
You've got to mention another skill. That's actually the core skill I think Mystic have, which is Wolf's Frenzy.
Right.
So they nerfed the Wolf's Frenzy iframe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before that, even after all the CC changes, Mystic can get in and get out with the Wolf's Frenzy because full iframe, even though you can't like fully run away from the crowd because technically you teleport around targets. You still stay in the fight, but people can't just lock on you and target you. You can just run away, triple dash, run away after that.
Mm-hmm.
But after they nerf the Wolf's Frenzy, like when you get in and you try to get out, you just die there because people will focus on you and you are an easy target because for the most of the time, Mystic staying super armor, right?
Right.
And currently, because as the combat type is a melee type and Mystic is a class without any ranged CCs or ranged skills damage, with so many ranged classes and ranged CCs, Mystic will usually die even when you try to engage or disengage. So you don't get CC'd, but you die.
Right. Yeah, and it's weird too because it's like everything like kind of just started piling up. Like Wizard and Witch got some buffs, and then Archer came out. Now a Succession,
Evasion nerfs.
Yeah, evasion nerfs, more accuracy on accessories, and then like Succession also. Now there's a bunch more range from Ranger and Sorceress, and even like Malice on Ninja. I don't know. Mystics become such a weird thing though, because like when I talk about Mystic all the time because I miss playing it. I think it's one of the most fun classes because the animations are dope. Like, there's some of the best animations. The water looks cool, the style is cool, the character looks cool, but like people still think to this day that it's a brain dead class and B that it's still like kind of strong. People are starting to finally acknowledge that it's not good in Siege. But like how do you think Mystic fares these days in 1v1?
In 1v1, I think so Mystic is still fine because even though we lost our Wolf's Frenzy, you don't have to disengage that much like in 1v1s. And even though you can use triple dash, you can use C barrel because one guy, maybe Succession damage is OP, but it's not like that much they can one shot you when you disengage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 1v1 Mystic, I think so. To talk about like current position Mystic at 1v1, I think people need to realize why Mystic was good, or right.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, Mystic is good because first, Mystic is very easy to do the flanking movement. It's very easy for Mystic to get behind you and do some CCs.
Right.
Second, Mystic have a lot of lingering super armors. So instead of Zerker's playstyle, you can't stop. You have to use all your skills. You can cast your lingering super armors and stay there, checking around, see the situation, and make your decision after. instead of like rushing into all those skills, maybe making some mistakes, right?
Right.
Mystic is good at that. Also, one of the broken skill, vacuum, we still have. To be fair, like I don't, because I already quit, so I don't fear to say that my winning rate against like 80% of the classes are over 90% because of this single skill vacuum.
Okay.
Because most classes they can't use iframe to dodge that. Oh, like just like ninja can block jump, Sork you can just spam in your iframe.
Mm-hmm.
Lahn you can just range grab inside the vacuum. Those classes you can't win that easily. But for most classes like Musa, Meiwa, any class, super armor class, that you can just punish them with vacuum.
Right. So, what? So Ninja, Lahn, Sork are kind of harder. Which matchups do you have a hard time with?
At this point, I don't lose to any class, to be honest. Like even the hardest matchup probably would be like 50-50.
Okay.
It would be Awakening Sork and Awakening Ninja.
Yeah, Awakening Ninja harder than Succession Ninja.
Succession Ninja damage is OP, but if you have the gear to tank the damage, they are actually easier to catch than the Awakening Ninja.
Right. Makes sense. So, with Wolf's Frenzy, I feel like when that happened, because yeah, it was like an iframe the whole time, and then the very last hit is a stun. I just wish, like, instead of removing the protection on that iframe, I wish they left it because it was a long cooldown. Just remove the stun, because like the stun is not even necessary.
Pretty much useless.
Yeah, it was not really necessary because you could do so many things after. You can mass destruction after, you can crouching wolf or back out or whatever. Like, you had a lot of options. So the stun was
like,
so like.
Most importantly, when you see a mystic like Wolf Frenzy at you, what do? Like, you use your super armor or use your iframe, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not likely you can get hit by the stun. It's very rare in my experience, right?
Yeah.
And since you talked about it, the prey hunt stiffness, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big nerf in 1v1 too for Mystic, because that's like our fastest all round protect CC skills.
Right.
To fight against classes like Sork, Ninja, because their frames is their animation frames is so low. If you want to punish them, you need a fast skill. Like back then, I remember fighting good Sorks like Masilas, LVG. They all say that, hey, you can catch my Shadow Leap, then Midnight Stinger so easily and so accurately. I was like, yeah, because I have a skill called Prey Hunt. Now, what do? You can't do anything. You use Rage Hammer, it's too slow. You use Mass Destruction, it's not all round. So you
Right.
can't hit them. You can't punish them even though you know they are coming for you and you know exactly what skills they are going to use. So that's a pretty bad nerf.
Do you think that nerf was too harsh?
Yeah, it's too bad. You know, like strikers still have it.
I know, it pisses me off. I don't want to talk about it, dude. It's so stupid because I get CC'd by that in strikers.
Twisted Collision, they still have frontal guard. We lost it.
Yeah.
Have you seen any class like share the same skill name and they have different effect? Name any class. Like female and male. They don't have that. Just the Mystic and Striker.
Right. Yeah, the twisted frontal guard thing when it first happened, I kind of understood because the combination of like perfect blow twisted sea burial was pretty strong when it was protected, but even still, I don't know.
I mean, talking about like the twisted collision, Striker's twisted collision can kill F and move so far away to disengage or engage, and it can collect with a lag drop. Is Mystics like PB then do the twist collision then sea barrel stronger? I don't think so. You can only move forward. You can't move backward. You can't disengage with that.
No, yeah, that's true. The prey hunt thing too, like I don't know. Part of my issue with the way they nerfed it is I feel like Prey Hunt would have been just fine if they just made the cooldown a lot longer. Like, because it was
Yeah,
only
I'm good
6
with that.
seconds. Yeah, because 6 seconds is really short. And if like you were a really good Mystic, at least in my opinion, you could actually sustain a fight for a pretty long time with 3 stacks. Like you didn't have to
Yeah.
like blow your stacks on Sea Burial right away, like some Mystics do right at the start of every fight for some reason. So I get that was too strong, but I don't know, man. Removing it just is like they could have just increased the cooldown to like 12 seconds or something.
So hold on, I wanna back up for just 1 second. So, Dildo, you said that you thought Succession Ninja is easier to catch than Awaken Ninja, right?
Yeah, correct.
Do you think that's the case for like most, if not all, of the Successions, or is that just Ninja Succession? Because like I think it was last episode, Dr. Morse posted Dr. Morse, General Morse.
General
He's a
Morse.
doctor now. He got his PhD, dude. He's a doctor
Really?
now.
congrats.
No, I'm fucking around. General Morse said that he felt like it was a lot easier to catch a lot of the Succession classes. Do you think you agree with that, or like not really?
I think in general, yes, there are probably some outliers, but I can't think of that. If you ask a question right now, because I haven't played for a while, right? The reason is that because some classes can't. Like, for example, Succession Long is actually harder to catch, as you know. Like they can spam the breeze, which is like flying skill. It's almost impossible to catch them right now, and they can just start dancing around you without getting CC'd at all. For Awakening Lahn, well, they can run, but they have to stay in distance. They can't just like play like a Succession Lahn and just play around you. They have to play around their one skill, the grab, 11-second cooldown. If they miss the grab, they have to run far away to wait for another cooldown. But Succession Lahn, you can just stay around and play around. It's harder to catch.
So my thing on that is kind of like I feel I don't know. I feel like Sork, it's easier to catch the Succession Sork. Ninja, I really don't think it's easier. I just think from General Moore's perspective, on Archer, it's an easier matchup against Ninja because of the lack of frontal guards. But when I'm playing on Ninja, Kuno, or Sork, like I do not feel like it's easier to catch a Succession Ninja, personally.
So for Mystic, it's easier. The reason is because Mystic has a lot of lingering super armor and CCs. And we have the slows. They're harder to catch because their movement is so fast, and their mobility is good. But when you fight a Mystic, they can run into like just to use your skill and just get CC'd by mass destruction, or you get CC'd by backdash wave warp max range because you didn't expect that to come, right? The range is so big. For Mystic, it's easier. I can see why it's harder for other classes because like it's so much faster.
Do you think part of it too, though, is inexperience of Succession players?
Maybe, could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like on it's weird because like on Kuno, I feel like it's actually easier to fight like an Archer, but on Awakening, it's actually pretty hard to fight Archers in Awakening unless you can linger super armor forever and just take the damage. But it's kind of hard against Archers.
Yeah. If you are playing against good archers and when you get close, they can use like 3 or 4 skills to dodge or CCU to counter your skills and run away and keep shooting you with the damage. So it's very hard for Kuno to do something against a good archer.
Right. All right. Let's talk about Vacuum, because Vacuum is probably the single, like it upsets people almost as much as just Sork as a class. The Vacuum upsets people. So in your opinion, do you like how Vacuum works, or do you think it needs a nerf or a change, or what are your feelings on Vacuum as from Mystic perspective?
So I think Mystic's Vacuum is actually worse than the Valk's vacuum because they can cast a skill and do all the stuff right away. Mystic, you have to stay in the animation for next 2.5 seconds, right? The skill is OP because after the 2 seconds, you have, if people already got hit at the first place by the vacuum effect will last another 0.5 to 1 second, so Mystic can do something. People get frustrated about that for the most time because they don't know how to deal with it. They get very nervous when you get vacuumed. Like, oh, I got sucked. What can I do? I have to cast my iframe. Well, that's actually wrong movement because for those 2 seconds, the Mystic actually can't do anything to you. If you want to cast the iframe, try to do it at the end of the animation instead of right away.
Right. So when you're against a really good player, generally, does the vacuum, are they able to get out of the vacuum? If you're against a really good player?
I think which made me a good Mystic. One part is I know a lot of details like how to deal with some situations. A lot of Mystics, even some streamers, when you see them fighting as a Mystic, they use vacuum and dash grab, right? But this skill, vacuum, is actually super decent key. Anybody played with vacuum should know that. If you dash grab and people have bad internet, 80% of the chance you will miss the grab. I use different skill combos to do that, so people can dodge the vacuum if I think they got vacuum.
Right.
So I played a fight game Lost, and in fight games there is something called hits. I don't know how to say that in English, but literally translate to hit scan. So perfect blow, right? Perfect blow will stop in front of the target if it hits the target.
Right, collision.
Yeah, collision. Collision, but it's a little bit different than collision. So when some skill happens, the collision happens for some skills, you will stop right in front of them. And even though on your screen, because BDO's network is decent key, even though they are not in front of you on your screen, you can use the grab right away because you use the perfect blow before that, and you hit him, and the collision is there, so you can grab him. That's how I deal with the vacuum differently. If I use a vacuum, I would use mass destruction or the perfect blow to secure the grab first.
Right.
So people won't dodge that.
Does it always work? I always hear you can vacuum grab even against good players. If you're against yellow,
very good players. Very good players. The funny part is I actually talked to yellow about that because he disagreed with me. You can vacuum and secure the grab against archer, right? Then he did the test with me for about 20 times, and he failed to get out of the vacuum for 18 times or 17 times. So, which proved him wrong, right?
Right.
So the vacuum, how you deal with the vacuum, how I deal with the vacuum, because there's a window of 0.5 or 1 second that you can still be in the vacuum. So if you use any iframe that's less than that length, I have a chance. I have the ability to choose when to cast my grab or CC skills.
Right.
That's why it's strong.
Would you change it or remove it or add to it or whatever, make it different, or do you think it's fine?
To be honest, I don't think it's fine. It's a very bad mechanism because the game itself is very decent key. You shouldn't be using something like what I said, a collision, a hit scan to secure any skills. I played a lot of fighting games. I played Dungeon Fighter Online. I played Street Fighter. In those games, any mechanism you should have, any class against any mechanism, you should have some mechanisms to punish that. Or this mechanism have some limitations, say very long cooldowns, or you take extra damage from that, something like that.
Right.
But against some classes, like if a Mystic plays against a Mewa or Musa, the vacuum and grab is inevitable, like 90% of the time. Even the best players, like Nayashi, like Musa, I don't know, Kyrene, some people like that, they
Yeah.
can't escape that. Like, it's not fair for them because they are good players, and you don't have a mechanism to punish that. It's just running away and try to how do you say that? How to try to make the mystic use the skill and run away, something like that. But it's not a good way to play a PvP in 1v1.
Right.
So I think they should change that.
What would you do to change it? Do you have any?
Remove the mechanism. It's a bad mechanism. Because the mechanism is good, but not in this situation that they have the decent key network for the
Right.
PvP.
Right. It'd be good for like a fighting game where you're on a server with two people.
Correct. If it's like a real fighting game, you can fix the people at the position, and there's the countering mechanic for every class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. That's a good mechanism, but for BDO, I don't think it's good.
What if they just make it like the Sork vacuum where you could just walk out of
it? Then it's meaningless. You don't need that skill.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a cool animation. They'd have to do something cool with
animation. So if you have a Mystic like staying on the ground for 2 seconds and people can just move around, Mystic won't die, right?
Yeah. All right. So Mystic large scale. Let's talk about large scale. So what is the state of Mystic in large scale for you personally? Since you've been in Siege guilds for kind of ever, right? Like you were in Corrupt most recently, but what were you in before Corrupt?
Troll Nation, Black Rose, what else?
Snake? Were you ever in Snake?
No, I was never in Snake because I hate Snake. Anyway.
So yeah, what's the state of Mystic in large scale, and why did it make you quit the game?
So I actually had a fight with Troll Nation people when I was back in Troll Nation. Because I think Mystic was in bad state at that time, and I talked to people about that. Then they think I was exaggerating. They think Mystic is super OP, and they even said I'm a bad player. I was like, okay, fine. At that point, I was quite disappointing. And I said, okay, name a good Mystic who's good in large scale. They named some random Mystics, and I said they didn't do anything. They just vacuum and do the skill, then run away. That's not how you play a game.
Yeah.
There's no like ceilings to that. Like the ceiling is there. Like you can't do much above that. It's not like I'm a pretty skilled Mystic and I can do better than those people. No, you just do the same shit and it's done.
Yeah,
Mystic have really bad damage. That's and very small hitbox.
So not counting Mystic Succession. We'll talk about that after. But just like for Awakened Mystics specifically, what could they do, in your opinion, to make it better for Node War and Siege without making it like too broken?
So before the changes, like we talked about, Wolf's Frenzy helps me to get out.
Mm-hmm.
I have YouTube videos before those changes, and I do RBFs. That's the only skill I can use to disengage a fight, like very safely. That need to be changed back. Otherwise, Mystic does not have a good ability to go out. Like people can say, okay, you have to follow the main boss, and you go with the PAs. And the PA only lasts 7 seconds. What if you have to disengage in middle of that? What if the buff run away? And you are melee class, you can't TP away. You can't zoop like a Musa. You can't rocket jump like a Zerker. You can't spam your iframe like a Sork. Your triple dash is super armor, just dying. And it's not guaranteed. Like it's in cooldown because like the triple dash is 15 seconds. when you try to engage, sometimes you need that because Mystic hitbox is very small. You have to get in close range to do deal damage.
Right. True. So Wolf's Frenzy, do you think that would be all it really needs?
I mean, it will make Mystic in a better situation, but the biggest problem is not only about like Mystic, the single class. It's about like the whole BDO right now. I quit not only because Mystic is bad. It's because some classes, like 80% of the classes with the succession or ranged skills, they are broken.
Right, like the range damage.
Yeah, I had 346 DP, and I can't even tank 2 archers shooting 2 skills at me. I just die there. So in this situation, the only choice would be like follow the main bull with PA. I feel like if you play a game like that, it's quite boring. And what if like two guilds they choose to stand on rocks and do the range battle, you know? Like
Right.
with the succession rangers, do the range battle. As a melee class, you can just stay there. Mystic does not even have a stale block. You can just walk backward. You just to get further and further away from the main ball. Like, it's pretty funny, but it's also very, frustrating.
Yeah. Maybe you need to be able to use flash while in the while in the bubble.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
The bubble is kind of useless.
Yeah, the bubble's bad. The bubble I always felt like was just people telling like me to grab them. Because I know it has extra grapple res, but I feel like my grabs still almost
Never
always
worked.
my grabs always work against
You know
it.
how I deal with like that bubble in Mystic mirror fights? I just wait until they explode because the animation is so fucking long. You can just grab after the animation would be gone. The PA would be gone. The resistance would be gone. You just grab them and do the combo.
Easy. So do you think Mystic damage needs a change, or the damage is it? If you had Wolf's Frenzy, would be okay, or like?
I think the damage would be fine if Rising Dragon still had the float.
Dude,
they can cancel the super armor, but I want the float back. The float is like the only big damage Mystic had, but they removed that.
I always said, what if they had? I mean, I know like you kind of use it, so they'd have to replace it because we're kind of stuck using Wave Orb for CC. But there's part of me that wishes that if you use Sea Burial, that it was super armor the whole time, even if it lost the stun on the 3 dragon version or whatever. Or which one has the stun? I forget. Is it the one with the stacks or without the stacks?
Which one? Which skill?
Wave Orb.
Wave Orb has bond with or without shards.
Oh, okay.
Well, on the description it says only with 3 shards, but it's actually bond without 3 shards.
Right. But like I almost feel like that skill for Node War would be better if I mean, just in my opinion, it would be better if it didn't even have the bound and was just super armor.
Exactly. Like it's like it doesn't even make sense. You need a bond on that. It only works for 1v1. It does not work for large scale at all. Like you are not going to bond a bunch of group of people because usually when Mystic rush into a group, you already have like several debuffs on you. You only like slow debuff, and the skill is not protected.
Yeah.
You get in, you can't even cast that. You already got CC'd.
And it sucks too because like Grim Reaper Judgment and I'm sure Ancient Wave and the Warrior skill that you charge up, like if you get CC'd out of Wave Orb, even though you see the animation and hear it, like it does no damage if you get CC'd, which makes it even worse. It's like
oh, you remind me something like the Grim Reaper. You reminded me of the BSR skills. Mystic have 0 useful BSRs.
You don't like the really, really slow Sea Burial punch?
Oh my god, it's even worse than the original skill. I would rather use the Sea Barrel itself instead of BSR Sea Barrel. Because the skill, like the hitbox is so weird. If you ever use that, the first hit sometimes go through people instead of like hit people.
Mm-hmm.
So the damage would like be missing. And like because it's so slow, you just die in the super armor.
Mystic damage is always I was gonna say
Go
that
ahead.
the mystic damage has always kind of had that problem, right? Have you noticed, like, if you grab someone and they end up against the wall, you do no damage to them because like the hitbox like goes past them. Like if you wave
Oh,
orb on
that's
top of someone.
yeah. So that's why I don't do that. Sometimes when I see some people against the wall, I will try to use torpedo first. Torpedo always hit even though they're against wall. Then I will go facing against the wall, so so I can grab them like away from the wall. Do this, then do the next move.
Right. I don't know, man. They need a. There's some things that
Yeah.
need to be changed, but yeah, like the range damage is crazy. I don't know, like they're at least like they just nerfed Ranger and Sork on Global Labs, so hopefully that helps a little bit in large scale.
Yeah.
With the range damage, but I mean, I don't know. It's probably not gonna be enough.
So when they did the change to the super armor, right, and the frontal guard, they said we nerfed that because you shouldn't stay in protect the CC. But they didn't think about like when you stay in range, a lot of classes does not have range skills or range CCs. In that case, those people are protected and doing CCs and damage.
Right.
It's just something they didn't think about very carefully.
Yeah, true. No, I mean that's true. That's a good way of looking at it. Like, if someone is sitting at range shooting at a mystic, like they are protected because the mystic has to just run through their shit. Like, there's nothing you can do unless we had old Wolf's Frenzy back, you know?
Yeah, I got Wolf's Frenzy range is not even comparable to like their shooting range. It's like half of that. You still have to
For
do
what?
the range. Like when you see the red cross, that's when you can cast a Wolf's Frenzy, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
But the range is not comparable to like archer or ranger's shooting skills.
Mhm.
It's like double the range of Wolf's Frenzy. You still have to do the double dash to get closer so you can use it.
Right. So I know you're kind of waiting. Like you said, you still play Global Labs, so you're kind of waiting for Succession and hoping that it's decent.
You know how disappointing I was when they like fucking scammed us and told us, "Hey, instead of releasing Striker and Mystic as planned, we're going to release Lahn Succession." Surprise!
Surprise. So, what are you hoping for with Mystic, or what do you expect it to be?
I have a very bad feeling about that
Uh-oh.
because I played the Mystic for so long, and as you all know, like the pre-awakening, we use it usually to stay in lingering super armor because the hitbox is so small. You are not going to like do something with that, and you lose the vacuum, you lose the triple dash, you lose the slow on wave up.
Yeah.
It just sucks. Even though Mystic like skills have better range for pre-awakening for Succession and better damage, you just lose all the signatures for this class.
Well, they get to release new and powerful skills like Prime Twisted Collision that has Frontal Guard, dude, and Prime Wolf's Frenzy that has an iframe.
Probably.
I know, I can't even picture it. I keep saying like it needs to have water animations or it's gonna be so boring looking if it's just yellow.
Yeah.
Like the Mystic
That's how I
Pre-Awakening
was
is
satisfied with all the Succession animations. They have the particle effect. It looks way better than the Awakening. So
yeah, on every class except Kuno for some reason that didn't get really nice.
to be honest,
animations.
even though I bitch about their like PvP system that much, the video didn't fail to like satisfy people's expectations about the graphics.
Mm-hmm.
The graphics was always nice.
Yeah. Did you like the combat before the CC system change better or after?
I like it after better, but before the Wolf's Frenzy change, of course.
Yeah.
That's probably my best time. I felt in BDO. I recorded most of the videos during that time too.
After
because
the
I
CC
think it's
change.
after CC change it's like very balanced.
Yeah, it was just like the thing was that was I mean I know like DK was Witch had a hard time, right? So they needed to fix that, and I got that where it was like a wizard or a witch or a DK that was actually good. Even if they were better than the Mystic, they usually would just lose outright because they did no damage, even if you didn't have
Man,
that much gear. But
I remember when I was back in DMG,
mhm.
3 DK players in the guild quit because of me. And back then I was playing Striker because like they had like top 1% gear, and their full combo does like 60% of my HP, and I wasn't even running like DR build or evasion build. It's pretty frustrating for them, so they just
Yeah.
quit. I think it's really bad before the CC changes or the damage buff for them.
So if the Mystic Succession is not good, are you coming back to the game, or you're just going to be gone forever?
I haven't made my decision yet. I'm joining Guardian Awakening for now, but I think Guardian Awakening have a lot of limitations too. So I don't know yet. It depends. Either quit or reroll. But if I reroll, I probably would choose some classes like a Ninja Succession, like Guardian Awakening. Long Succession is actually pretty fun to play with.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
really
that's pretty
fun.
much it.
The movement
Yeah.
looks great. It's the first one I think that just one of the awakening skills is just an iframe. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. Well, I guess the Kuno one
Yep.
too with Dance Macabre.
Dildo, reroll Archer, dude. It's so easy.
Okay. So I've never played any classes like Archer, and actually I played Wiz, played DK, but I don't like range class that much. I feel like it's too cheesy, you know, especially in RBF in large scale. I know they're OP, and you can do some like very skilled stuff. Like, you know, I teamed up with with Archer in our tournaments,
Mhm.
and I fought General Morse. I know they are all good players, but I just don't feel like playing the class. It's very cheesy.
Yeah.
Hear that, General Moores? Dildo said, "Fuck your cheesy class, dude." He's
Yeah.
not playing that garbage.
Well, one of the things I did always kind of like about the way General Moore's played versus a lot of other people is he actually plays melee when he 1v1s, like for a lot of it.
Oh, Jigo played mini too. You know
Yeah.
Jigo and General Morse, they play the very same styles because they know the class. So they dare to use those close range classes to deal with close range skills to deal with melee classes. Because they
Right.
know the class well. It's not because they like the play style. It's very different concept. They know the class and they know the skills, so they can do that. Some people they can't do that because they don't know about their classes.
Yeah, that's like I'm trying to get better at 1v1s because large scale is just so easy. Like my first Node War on Archer, I got like 30 kills or something in like less than an hour. Like it's just too easy. But 1v1s are actually like fairly difficult, especially if you're like me and you've mostly played melee classes. So I'm trying to like not get this habit where I'm just constantly running away. Like because I watch all of like the best archers like General Moores and stuff, and like they're hardly ever just like running away. Like it's
I
only
know.
like the bad archers that you see like making a break trying to get distance in between them. So I'm like every time I'm in a fight, I'm like I'm either gonna die right next to him or I'm gonna get the kill. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah. You know, when I teamed up with Jigo, like everybody on the other team would think, okay, let's focus on Archer. He's the easiest to get. Then they get a CC'd and double killed. That's the most enjoyable moment in the tournament because like people think Archer is so easy to catch. They are not. But in my opinion, it's cheesy not because of like its movement, but it's because of its damage. You know, as a Mystic play against Archer, you die. You die in like when you try to get close to them. So I say
Yeah.
it's cheesy because of damage, not because I hate the movement of the class. Archer has some goom.
Succession Ninja would like to have a word with you.
Oh, ninja damage is like really ridiculous, and they can stay in iframe and the animation. it's like they can just keep moving around like a cockroach. I have a fucking YouTube video called like Ninjas are Cockroaches, because like when I was doing RBF and I see a place without anybody around and I just walked into that, then the 5 ninjas jumped out of their concealment and fucking just jumped on me. Jesus. And when you CC the one guy, suddenly you just saw another ninja CC behind you because they are more in concealment too. It's like a cockroach.
Even though ninja damage is crazy, there's nothing on Ninja Succession that's even remotely close to full bloom.
Oh no,
Oh,
full
yeah.
bloom is
Dude.
full bloom is like the funniest thing ever because it's like for me anyways, because I'll get like a random CC and then I'm like, oh god, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to kill this guy, and then I walk up full bloom and they just instantly die no matter what HP they were at. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting.
it's not like it's very bad for a fighting game. Like I assume that's what they are trying to make BDO what a BDO like be like. It's supposed to be something like you can enjoy the fight, but like if you can kill people with one single skill without using your brain, then it's bad. It's really
Yeah.
bad.
No matter
It's
how
like-
much DP.
Like, it doesn't matter how much DP.
Last week we were in a 2v1 against, I think it was Digital and some other guild, I don't remember. And like there was these digital ninjas that would just be like in stealth, like running around our base. So I literally just did like wing strike, like just the moving auto attack until I found one. And of course wing strike is a fucking CC once every like 5 seconds, which is like why. And then so I'd like get a random CC and I'm like, oh good, just walk up full bloom. All right, I took care of one. And just keep going, like just keep walking around the base doing wing strike. Like it's so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the
So
patch note
cheesy.
that says like fixed an issue where full bloom was temporarily removing armor from enemies when using skill. Dude, because that shit.
Dude,
oh my god.
What if full bloom actually is bugged? Then it's something like the what was the it was the Sork bug. I don't remember what skill it was. Where it was like applying
Violation.
damage twice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was violation.
Wasn't it like applying damage twice or something?
It was supposedly applying the damage of all 3 levels of the skill.
Yeah. What if full bloom's doing something like that and they just haven't realized it yet?
Maybe.
Nah, you overthink about that because a lot of classes now have the ability to one skill people. I was playing Awakening Guardian, right? The shift right click of Awakening, one shot 390 DP Ninja, a 390 DP Musa when I had 281 AP.
Yeah.
So that tells you something about BDO balance, right?
It's so funny too because like sometimes I'll get CC'd by an archer, they'll like hit me with a couple shots, they'll refloat me with the knockdown, and I'm still at like 95% health. I'm like, oh dude, I'm gonna get up and grab this guy. I'm about to get up and grab this guy, and then he slides in, pop, pop, and I'm dead. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
Dude, after the first time you experience that, next time you get CC'd by a archer and you see them do all those stuff before that, you're like, cut the bullshit, just to full bloom me.
Yeah, dude, life's pretty easy over here.
All
Also, like, I don't know why I don't hear anybody talking about it. The down E ability where you do like the 3 charges and then shoot the like super shot. It's got a long cooldown, 22 seconds, but holy fuck, does that thing do damage?
What's that one called?
Like, I just
is that Piercing Light?
Piercing Light, yes.
Is that what it's called?
down
Yeah,
E?
Piercing Light.
Yeah. Nope.
Dude, I literally just shoot that shit into a ball, like 3 kills, like every time I do it. I'm like, okay,
That's
cool.
why I say Archer is cheesy.
That's the one General Moores was talking about, that he thinks because it did no damage when it first came out, and then they buffed it based on feedback, but they
overbuffed that,
but they overbuffed it. All right, so I'm gonna run through. There's a couple listener questions for you, Dildo, but some of them are the same, kind of the same things we went over, so you can just answer them like quickly in 1 or 2 word answers. Orikami asks, when did you first change to Mystic, and what did you play before that?
I first changed to Mystic after Mystic was released 3 months. Before that, I played Striker and DK and Sork, and 3 months of Wiz, but I didn't like it. So
He also asks. Here's a couple more. He also asks, why are you still playing Mystic?
I'm not.
He's playing Guardian on the Global Test Lab.
Actually, I only logged in the game for the past year for Siege and Tournament. That's all I did for Mystic.
He says also, what are you hoping for from the upcoming Succession, and what do you think it'll actually be? So what are you hoping for, and separately, what do you think it'll actually end up being?
I'm hoping for some. I hope they still have some mobility, so we can disengage and engage. I hope they have the damage we didn't have for past 2 years, Awakening Mystics, so we can actually perform in large scale. At the same time, I don't want Mystic to lose the ability, like to move in a small range, but very agile. So you can flank to people, use mass destruction. You can use the what's the skill's name? Forgot the name. Down left click, hidden claw. You can use those skills. You can use crouching wolf to go behind people. Those skills. I don't want to lose that.
Right.
That's what I hope for. But in my opinion, it's going to be really bad. I have a bad feeling for that.
It's going to be Zerker Succession 2.0?
Yeah, pretty much.
Rose says, if Mystic was once elite, what was the nerfs that lowered it down, and where do they currently rank in 1v1, large scale, and PvE?
As I said, so Mystic has some signature skills. One is Wolf's Frenzy, which is the iframe TP skills. It's super cool animation, and it's very helpful for Mystics to get away from the fight. Another skill called Prey Hunt. It's the all-around stiff that it's super armor, but it's very long cooldown because like the 3 shots, it's not that easy to get, and you can stiff people around you, like ninjas, orcs. If you know they are going to do some unprotected skills, and you anticipated that, you can punish them. That's a very good skill. Those 2 skills, after they nerfed, I pretty much start thinking about quitting the class.
Yeah. Same. By the way, when the crouching wolf, because you know people always say they only balance for large scale and node war. They don't care about 1v1, but the crouching wolf is proof that that's not true. That was a 1v1 nerf and nothing else. That skill made no difference in large scale.
Exactly.
So he says, where do you currently rank Mystic in 1v1, and then in large scale, and then in PvE?
1v1, I think probably at a A rank, if there's the S rank. PvE, I would, instead of using rank, I would say like percentile. Like it's like 50 out of 100. People still think Mystic are good at PvE, but if you ever seen like Stars and Quoto, Succession Warriors can pull 6.2k trashes, and me with same stats, I can only get 4.4k trashes.
Yeah, every class with Succession right now basically pulls more than Mystic at Starzen and Secret.
So the PvE is actually really bad right now, because like the skills to pull mobs, our skill is Crouching Wolf. The skill is kind of buggy. Sometimes it CC's enemy, it CC's mobs. Sometimes it just makes them stand still and not moving at all. So it's really bad pulling skill for Mystic. Instead, like Warriors, they have a spammable, like full map AoE skills that can pull the mob right away. Or Ranger, you can pull the mobs right away. So PvE, I'd say like 50%, because there's still some classes that's worse than Mystic, like Wizard or Witch.
I wish they
Uh,
had that warrior pull animation, like a no damage version for every class to just pull. Like Kuno pulling
Yeah,
is
right.
so bad, dude. On Kuno,
Yeah.
throwing
Yeah.
individual kunais and then auto aim fucks it up, and you're hitting the same mob over and over.
Even the Succession Ninjas, Succession Ninjas throwing the malice is better because
Yeah.
it's more range and it's
Yeah.
less cooldown.
And AoE, so it hits a bunch of
Yeah.
mobs. Yeah.
For large scale PvP, 3v3, I would like rate Mystic still at A rank. I think it's still very good. That's why I attended those tournaments. But for large scale, like over 10 people, Mystic's probably like a C rank or D rank. It's very bad in my opinion. No matter how people, like when I was back in Troll Nation, people keep telling me because you are playing it badly. Okay.
Do you think there's any class, in your opinion, what classes are worse than Mystic in large scale?
I was thinking about Long because they don't have that much protected damage. But after thinking Long have skills disengage, they can still be a part of the what's the name for the
Flex.
squad? Yeah, Flex.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still be a team member of Flex, but Mystic, oh come on. If you are
Yeah.
in a Flex team, you don't have the mobility to keep with the your teammate.
Well, that's the other thing too, is like, because I know like in 1v1, Mystic can hold its own even against Ninja Kuno, but in large scale, if like a Mystic was on Flex, even if you had like you can move a little bit more, there's nothing you can do against Concealment Ninja. Like that's a whole different like beast, concealment.
Dude, it reminds me of the days that we had the pre-awakening Wolf's Frenzy. Every single hit is a stiff, and last one is a stun. I use it to like just to find all the concealed ninja concealment all the time. Like in the RBF, I just see a ninja. Oh, he used the concealment. He must be around, and I just throw the skills and what hit the ninja out of his concealment, and he's dead.
Yeah, that you can actually do
No.
that on Kuno's new tendon cutter. Because the last hit, you left click and it works like Wolf's Frenzy, just teleports you to a target.
Yep.
And if it's like a ninja in concealment, they'll get popped out.
Yeah.
Smoover asks, what would they have to do for you to reroll from Mystic? And is Mystic the only class you are interested in?
I like the Mystic because I hated when I played some classes. Again, like it's about the whole game. The game is not balanced. I remember when I was playing Striker, and when I fight Meiwa or Musa, like it's such a like patience game. Like people just stay in protected CCs and does not do any risky moves because you get punished for that all the time, like 100% of time. You have the risk, but you don't gain anything. So it's really bad play style. But as a Mystic, because I could like vacuum and punish those classes instead of like playing the patience game, so I like the Mystic. Something I need to change back. I already talked about like Wolf's Frenzy, like Prey Hound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the damage.
So the second half of his question and then the last questions are kind of the same. So if you had to pick a new class right now, like you were just gonna full reroll and commit to it, what class would it be? And we can count Guardian Awakening being out.
I
since
haven't
it's
made my
4 days.
decision yet. Yeah, Guardian Awakening is actually, it has a lot of potential. At the same time, it has a lot of limitations, and it's super buggy. The grab is very buggy. It's desyncy. When you fill the grab, you can still cast the animation. Sometimes it changes from KD to bond. It's very buggy. Yeah. So I don't know yet. I haven't made my decision yet.
Have you ever tried Zerker, Dildo?
Zerker, I was thinking about rerolling to Zerker a year ago. But how do I put this? So I actually like 1v1 and 3v3. Zerker have to rely on their Q buff in 3v3. So it's not a form I like. I like you can, you can actually utilize all your skills, and your winning is based on your knowledge of the class instead of like spamming something. So I don't like the Zerker in 3v3. And in 1v1, Zerker also have a lot of limitations. Like you have to keep using your skills running around, but against some classes, it will be super hard to fight them.
Hogwash, dude. Zerker's busted.
Well, Zerker,
Just kidding.
Zerker has the unfortunate situation of like having almost no skills to catch people with. You basically have your grabs, and like maybe you get a lucky predatory hunt if they're being retarded, you know. But yeah, that's kind of like their main issue.
The cannon shot. Also, the Zerker is very decent key too. Like a lot of skills, so I kind of not like it.
All right. That's all their question. I have a friend that I hang out with in voice all the time. He plays Mystic, and he's a little bit newer to the game. He only started like 6 months ago, and he mains a Mystic, and he is like, he was like, dude, Dildo's not even playing the game anymore. What is this, dude? I'm just gonna play League, and he told me he's just gonna play League until you're back.
Man,
he's like, even Dildo's not playing, dude. Fuck this shit. Mystic, what is this? Yeah, he's thinking about going Guardian.
There was someone in general who asked the question as well.
Oh, okay.
He says, "What made him choose that name?"
Oh, DildoDragon. The reason that because when I play the class, I see the animation, like the dragon like flying straight up. It's like I just at that time when I made the character, I just bought a dildo for my girlfriend. I was just, okay.
Oh my god!
This dragon looks like a dildo. Let's name my character DildoDragon.
Oh my god! It always was funny to me listening to like wholesome and genuine and like just super nice guy Dr. Positive saying dildo over and over in his tournament.
Hell yeah, I enjoyed that. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Lahn Succession. Have you played it, Dildo, in
Yes.
Global Labs? Okay, so
Yes.
did you play Lahn at all before, like Awakening Lahn or anything like that?
Not at all, because like the Awakening line have to play around the grab. It's very boring playstyle.
Okay, and you feel like the Succession Lahn remedies that a little bit? I mean, obviously it doesn't have the grab, so you can't play around it, but like it has other tools that are pretty good.
Yep, you can like playing around at people. Use your damage skills. It has super high damage. I think that needs to be nerfed too. The spinning. What's the name again? I forgot the name.
Blooming something. I forget the full name.
Whatever that skill, the spinning skill. That one skill can kill you through the block. Like the one single skill. So I think it need to be nerfed too. But overall, the skill is super mobile. You still have the iframe to play around people. So it's kind of similar to Sork. And you can fly around. That's so fucking cool, man. You can just spam the fly.
Right, so really low cooldown now, right? Like 6 seconds or something?
No skill. No cooldown. You can spam that. I don't know if that's a bug, but you can spam that skill.
Is it always protected though? Or is because I see the cooldown pop up when people use it.
I can't test that in like global lab. People failed to even knock me down when I was in the midair, so I assume this super armor. It's a spammable super armor movement. You can think about like instead of the Musa and Meiwa Zoop Soup, you have a flying animation. How cool is that?
I know, it's pretty neat. Does it feel faster than pre-awaken Lahn, like normal pre-awaken Lahn?
Yeah, it's faster.
Like the skill animations that do damage are faster?
Yep.
Yeah, Frosty was also a Lahn for like 5 seconds at one point.
Yeah, I played for like 4 weeks, but it was.
You know, all the skills are protected. It's not like a Lahn. You have to use a grab to play around, and then all the rest is just to spam the iframe. You know.
Yeah, they have a lot of protected skills. Rez, have you seen
It's
it?
very protected.
No, I haven't really been paying attention.
I'm like looking through, and it's seriously of like the 6 skills on the main chart and the 8 flows. I think, let's see, probably 12 of them have either super armor or frontal guard, and like a lot of them also are CCs.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that just kind of Succession in general?
No, not really. I mean, like even Ninja didn't get any protected CCs in Succession.
No, Ninja does not have that many protection CC at all.
I mean, just smokescreen, really. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I like the class overall. Probably
looks
will
cool.
play it.
I'm watching Chemo's video. I just want like I always liked the pre-awaken better than the awakening because that pendulum looks so sick.
Dude, yeah. When I actually I played Lahn to 58, and I felt like the pre-awakening is so good, man, but it's also so bad because
so slow and not enough
it's
protection.
so slow, and it's not very smooth to connect all the skills together. And considering the awakening grab is so strong and the awakening damage is so good, I just felt bad for the pre-awakening Lahn. Now they have the Succession Lahn, it's very good.
In Succession, can they do like, let's say if they start up a skill, can they cancel it with their iframes or anything? Like some of the skills, or are they locked in the animation like awakening?
I think some of the skills you can cancel it, not all of them.
Yeah. I don't know. Lahn looks crazy. It's so funny because Lahn's not a very popular class. So because Lahn Succession came out, every striker and mystic is pissed because they were all expecting striker mystic this week.
It's just like older striker. It's just like older striker with all the super armors and the damage, and mobility is better, and it looks cooler.
Speaking of Lahns, I noticed you have a little bit of beef with Vodkin. Is that something you can share, or is that private? Your old buddy.
No, I already posted a video about that, so there's nothing to hide.
All right, so what happened there?
I got to know Striker back when we were in BSL tournament.
And Striker wasn't corrupt like back in the day, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't I wasn't in corrupt back then.
Okay.
And I didn't know him back then, so we teamed up in BSR. Like regardless, people telling me how fucked the person is.
Mm-hmm.
I still think he have some skills, and he showed some respect to me when we did some 1v1s. He said, "You are a really good mystic," and he asked me if I want to join his team. Then I said, "Okay, sure, let's make a team and just a roll." Then during the fight, I started realizing this guy have some issues. Like he would talk a lot, like nonstop. So in Snake Discord, if you search his chat history, he have chat history more than 99% of Snake members. So that's one of the reason I don't. It's just sometimes you don't want to reply to those people because he asked some like very naive questions or non-related questions. So that's the point. I felt he's a little bit weird, but I didn't have bad feelings about him. But later in the BSL, when BSL keep going, I just realized this guy really likes to blame other people. When you point out his mistakes, he won't admit it, but just saying non-related stuff and just trying to say, okay, you're playing it bad, you're bad, something like that.
Yeah.
You're giving him. I was giving him advice as a teammate, but he think I'm just blaming him for no reason. I played bad myself, and I said, okay, I don't think our team can keep going. Let's just split the team. He stayed with what's his name again? The Musa.
Which Musa?
Forgot his name. He haven't played for a while, but we were a team. So
he
stayed.
Was it Axpot?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember.
Anyway, so he still teamed up with him. Then, then what happens was in history, he fought me. So when I fight with people for the most of time, now I learned from those experience. Like people like to post stuff like they fight me in 1v1s, which I consider those as a practice. So I play super aggressively to test my limit of skills, right? So I want to see like which skills can be punished, which combos won't be punished. So I play super aggressively. So I lost some fights, and people likes to likes to talk to people. Hey, I just how do you think of Dildo? Like people say, oh, Dildo is good, and Striker says, no, I just bullied him in history, something like that. Like he's so bad, like I can just kill him over and over again. Then at one point, I was like, okay, dude, fine. Let's. I feel like I just have to ban these people. I didn't hate him at that point. I just feel like on the internet, people you can dislike some people, but you don't have to get along with them, right? So I just
Right.
banned him. But later, when I grind at Star's End, he would grief me like nonstop. He would kill all those pillars. Those pillars like explode.
Right.
He would just kill those pillars and just running away and coming back with 4 buffs, like 6 elixirs, E buff, V, escape with all the buff just come to grief me. That's at the point I start thinking about like this guy's fucked. Then he challenged me. He said, oh, "Okay, let's do some fights, like first to 10." And as you can see on my YouTube video, he got fucked, right?
What was
Like
the score?
we were on Snake Discord. Then he challenged me. Then we fought and streamed the fight, and he lost. And the funny part is, for every single 1v1, he would pop 6 elixirs, 4 elixirs. Like I have to wait for him for a whole minute every single time he loses, and he lost 10 times.
Yeah.
So
wait, what? Do you remember what the score was?
it's 10-4, I think.
Oh man, that's rough.
Yeah, it went 8-0 at first. But so I posted a video at 8-0 because he said I added on my video to cut those clips I didn't perform well. So to piss him off, I just upload the part I 8-0'd to him to piss him even more.
Oh my god. Yeah, I ran into you. I mean, you and I have dueled actually. I mean, I don't even know if you remember, but I was on my Sork in BA a couple months ago, and we dueled for like an hour and a half. And I think I did all right, but I couldn't kill you in one combo, which was frustrating. That
You're
goes.
playing Sork?
I was on Sork at the time. Yeah.
What's your
Frosty
name?
Yeah, it was like I think it was in Velia 4 BA or whatever.
It's a while back then.
Yeah. And then I don't know if I've dueled you on any other class since, but my friend was I was in Discord with my friend Laserface, and he saw you grinding at Star's End, and he doesn't know anything about anything. He's like oblivious, like brain dead striker, and he goes, "Hey, does anyone know if this guy DildoDragon's any good at PvP?" And we just started laughing. We're like, "Nah, man, you got this." And then he just dives in, and you killed him immediately.
Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah, dude. He rezzed up or whatever, and then you killed him again immediately, and then he typed something and he like mistyped it, so it was like retarded.
Yeah, I remember that guy, dude.
That shit was
It's
funny.
pretty funny. But yeah, so after Striker drama, every time I do people, I just do a first to 10 at the end, so people don't get like overconfident on me,
Yeah.
Like, oh, it happened a lot after, there's one guy called VCD, a ninja.
I know him very well. Yeah.
That guy would talk to his friend like, oh, okay, that guy sucks. That mystic is bad. Then I told him, let's do like first to 10, just in front of your friend, like Ellie. Ellie is mystic, right? We did it twice. He lost both times.
Yeah, him and Ellie like to 2v1 people a lot in history.
Ah, man, you tell me about that. You kill one guy, that's just the whole gangster came like 3 or 4 people. It's always together.
Yeah.
That's why I hated Snake at the first place. You know, back then when I was like top 0.1% Mystic,
Mhm.
I grabbed an history and just killed one Snake, and the whole guild would just come out.
Yeah.
It's very the Zerging was super annoying, so I hated them. So I didn't join them, even though they asked me to.
All right, let's move on to Guardian real quick. Since you've played Guardian, and Rez, are you still leveling your Guardian, or what level is your Guardian now?
I got her to 56, so I'm just chilling right now.
Oh, okay, but are you considering playing it, Rez, or no? Like,
I don't know. I gotta get my hands on the Awakening before I decide anything. The pre-Awakening's pretty fun, but like again, I'm just gonna go back to like DR classes are not good in large scale. So I loved Warrior, but I couldn't play it because the goddamn large scale was too infuriating. So why, I ask myself, is Guardian going to be literally any different?
Trust me, you will like the Awakening. The damage is very broken. You will like it.
so,
But again, it's not the damage. Like when I tried Warrior Succession, I had a lot of fun and I was winning like a lot of 1v1s, honestly. But it was just that like you couldn't survive. Like if more than 2 people ganged up on me, I instantly died. I couldn't run away. I couldn't like try and survive. I couldn't like engage. I died instantly.
Yeah, I
So
can answer your
then,
questions about that. So compared to Warrior, Guardian has ranged damage and AoE, like the shift and left click. So you don't have to get so close as a Warrior to do damage. That's the good part. Second
Right.
part, Warrior, you only have the solar flare, the shield charge to get into people, right? For Guardian, you have WF to get away. You have SF to get away, the becoming the Phoenix, best goal to get away. You have the hold the shield and charge forward to get away. It's fully protected. Even it's like a warrior's block. So you have several ways to get away and tank the damage because the shift Q awakening heals you. So even if you stand in the middle of the ball fight, you use the shift Q skill, you still heal a lot. And all the double hand skill of pre-awakening, as you know, they heals. So it's pretty good for sustaining. Better than warrior, in my opinion.
right.
Yeah. They removed the iframe, right, on the Phoenix skill. It's a super armor now.
Iframe? Yes. No. It's still iframe, but it's not lingering anymore.
Okay, is it not lingering at all, or just not as long?
It's so when you fly in the middle of the air and disappear, it's still iframe. But when you land, it's kind of super armor, but it does not last very long. So you can't just stand there. You have to cast something after.
Okay. Yeah, because it looked kind of busted, the original, because it was like tree climb on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. You can stand still and waiting for people like to just bait people to attack you, just to grab them. Then one skill, shift right click, they're dead.
Yeah. So I don't know, Rez, if you've seen much of the Guardian Awakening, but I was watching some Guardian RBF. Like some of the range is actually insane. Like it's like
Shift
Really?
left
really
click, right?
far. Is it getting nerfed in range?
I've watched a little bit, but not too much. So
they have a skill shift the left click. You can charge 3 times, just like the piercing light. The range is actually about the same as piercing light, but the cone is way bigger, and you can cancel the charge into shift the double shift the movement, then release it. So it's very good skill, and it just lead people.
Yeah.
You will like it.
It looks pretty cool. I've never been a big fan of like slower classes, personally.
Yeah, the pre-awakening, it's kind of bad, to be honest. The pre-awakening skills, you can't connect combos together because the only good CC skills you have is shift the left click. Shift KD skills is shift the left click, but it's super slow, even though you can cancel it and it's not protected. So I had trouble like doing the combos in pre-awakening. Like when you land a stiffness or something.
Right. Does the awakening feel a little bit faster or more fluid?
It's not faster, but the big damage and AoE will make you forget about it.
Yeah.
People just die there. You don't care about the animation.
So do you feel like you're stuck like a wizard or a witch, or can you actually like get out of some of the animations?
What do you mean?
Like,
Stuck
you know,
with
like
wizard or witch?
yeah, like if you're a wizard and you cast like Aqua Gel, like you can't move all the way until the end. Is that how Guardian is, or is there some skills that you can move out or cancel or whatever?
I think so the big animation skills like the shift Q, just like the shift Q skills, you can cancel it. What else? The shift left you can cancel. But usually I use the skills and cancel into pre-awakening like A and D plus right click. It's pretty smooth. So I think it should be fine. It's better than it's just way better than Succession, Wiz and Witch.
Yeah. So, all right, what about PvE? Have you done any grinding? I imagine you probably don't, just because.
No.
Why?
No.
But it looks like it's
Succession
good from some of the
PvE.
videos, right? Like the
Guardian?
Awakening Guardian, yeah.
Yeah. The damage is pretty nice, and because you have two mobility skills to move around, and your AOE's can just pull enemies, and I think it will be good.
Right. Does it so the pre-awaken has this like the kind of how Warrior and Valk have the block where you can move and it's super armor also is, and Guardian has that in pre-awakening, but does the Awakening have that at all? Can you like walk while
Uh,
blocking with super armor?
no, you can't.
Okay, it's a little
But
bit,
they have
but
the WF, which is sprinting forward
right.
frontal guard. Yeah.
And then when you're blocking, is it super armor in Awakening?
No, it's not. It's not.
Okay. So only the pre-awaken version
Yeah,
is
only
super
the
armor.
pre-awakening version.
Got it.
But the block itself, it is. You just can't move with it.
Oh, okay, the block even in Awakening?
Yeah, even
Oh,
in
okay.
Awakening.
So if you're blocking and standing still, you have super armor.
Yes.
Okay, got it. Dude, I'm watching I'm for the recording or whatever, I have this Lahn Succession like PvP. He's fighting a Succession warrior and like he's literally just killing the warrior standing up. He's like never even ceasing. He's just oh my god, the damage looks crazy.
Yeah.
It looks kind of fun, not gonna lie. All right, let's move on. So Guardian looks overall like pretty cool, but they need to change some stuff. Is there anything like that stands out right away that you feel like needs to be fixed or changed?
The grab, for sure, like 100%. Everybody will, whoever played like Awakening Guardian will agree with me. The grab is so fucking bad. Like the hitbox is weird. The distance is good, but the cone is super small. It's like a straight line. So
Okay.
there's no angle to that.
It's not like lawn grab, not
yeah,
lawn
it's not
grab.
like long grab. It's like long grab is 180 degrees. It's not like that. Also, it's very desynchy. So when the animation looks like you step to people, you left hand and just put him down on your back. So it changes people's place. But in the real fight, when you do that, people will stay at the place where they got grabbed. So it's super desynchy. And even though it says KD on the skill description, sometimes it becomes bound. I don't know if that's because I have 220 pings on Global Lab, but it's buggy overall. And when you do the same grab movement, when you try to grab people, and who has the grab, like say a Zerker, say a Mystic, because their grab animation is faster, and somehow Guardians grab only actually happens after you like put them down. So they will grab you first instead you grab them.
Right.
So it's very buggy.
All right, moving on. Last couple things. So, I don't know how to address the siege thing because the translation isn't like super clear to me. But according to the Korean patch notes, if you are fighting in Balanos, Serendia, Calphia, and Medaya, it looks like you will have a 5,000 HP bonus on every. I think just everyone just has that, and then if you're the territory holder, then you have 500 HP less than that. So, and then the longer you hold the territory, like each week, your max bonus HP pool goes down by 500 until it's 0 to kind of help, like, basically like a handicap. So if it is what I think it is, but I don't know for sure, but if it is what I think it is, which I've heard other people say too, where literally just in Siege you have 5,000 more HP on your HP pool, well, how do you guys feel about that change? I guess starting with you, Dildo.
I think without zerging, like 3v1, 4v1, it's almost impossible to like take some guilds down, like Black Rose. If you have all the rangers, all the mages on the wall, on the chokes, it's almost impossible to wipe them. So I guess if you have the siege as like top 3 guilds like Troll Nation, probably you can stay for 3 weeks. But I mean, I've been there. I've been in those guilds. They don't want to stay in castles. They want to play Node Wars. So I don't know about that. So maybe they just do 1 week and then go back to Node War, give it away to some other guilds.
Reslar, your thoughts?
I think it's a good change, but I like Dildo was pointing out, like I don't know how much it actually changes. Is kind of the thing I find myself wondering. Like I don't think it's a bad change. I think it's interesting. And definitely increasing the HP across the board is like nice. Although I like with how much damage people are doing, I wonder. Like I just gotta see how much, right? Because the thing is even at like 6k HP on my Zerker, back when I played Zerker, I still died like basically instantly in large scale. So all these people that have like 2k HP and they're like, "Oh, dude, this 5,000 extra HP is gonna make me invincible." Like, dude, no, it's not. Trust me.
Right.
But like, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. I'm definitely like, I think it's a good change, but I just don't know how much it's gonna do. I gotta see it.
So if you're below 331 DP, it's just the 1 skill to kill you, to 2 skill to kill you. So don't worry about that. Succession classes.
Yeah. Well, after the HP buff, it'll be 2.5 skills.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, I mean, 5,000 is a lot. And on top of that, on Global Labs, they got another journal where when you complete the whole journal, you get 600 HP, and it's family-wide.
Oh my god.
So
instead of buffing DR or evasion again, they just choose to give HP?
Yeah, that's what it looks like they're doing. My question that's kind of I'm thinking about, if we go step outside of castles, let's say we're looking more at like I don't know, filter versus like aftershock and challenger or something, right? Or challenger versus aftershock, whatever. Like some of the Serendia and Balanos guilds, like is it just going to be wizards and witches standing up with, because they're healer percentage based.
Percentage, yes.
Like, is someone in Aftershock not going to be able to do enough damage to kill somebody that has 9,000 HP, and then like Wiz Witch are healing all of it instantly, kind of, you know? It's going to be weird.
And set for those classes who have like specific amount of HP healing, like Mystics, healing 300 HP. Yay!
Yeah.
Right.
You have 9k HP to kill.
or Zerker, like, oh good, I get my 250 HP like every 3 seconds. Yay. Like, that's so good.
Alright, you have a bunch of heals on Zerk, right? Relax.
And they're all 350 HP every 3 seconds.
That's a lot, alright? That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Not when you have 11k HP.
Dude, it's so much. It's crazy. Dude,
So
I don't know.
I just gotta talk about like what the fuck. So I was kind of feeling a little bit bad for Rangers because these nerfs seem to be like pretty heavy, and then I got full bloomed from across the entire map in RBF. So yeah, I'm ready for the nerfs now.
Yeah.
Like I am not exaggerating when I say I was at 100%. I saw this Ranger. She did a shot and then a little kick, and I died from 100%.
Man, this is not even the worst part. The worst part is they nerfed that because KR had a siege guild who had like 60% or 70% rangers just stand on their base wall and shooting inside of the wall and killing everybody around it. So nobody can do anything to their base. So that's why they nerfed that. But as you know, the Succession Ranger is pretty unprotected. So if you don't have the damage, it's pretty shit. I don't know how bad that will be though. Maybe they still have some damage. But I'm glad they removed the infinite like KD or down smash thing.
Yeah. The thing is like I just wish they like I don't mind the damage nerf on Prime Blasting Gus. I just wish it wasn't like the damage nerf and remove down attack. I wish it was like one or the other just to kind of see how it is. Like probably just remove like lower the damage but keep the down attack or something. I don't know. Cuz like yeah, it was too strong, but it doesn't need to be like I don't know. I'm like kind of torn on it because they still have like their Blasting Gus shotgun still does a ton of damage. Descending Current still does good damage. So I don't know. It's like hard to say.
PA always do something like that. They either over buff, over nerf something, or they just like do the opposite things at the same time. Say nerfing evasion, but adding HP to people, so people become less tanky and tankier.
Right.
You know, I don't know why they are doing all this.
Yeah. I don't know. It's it is what it is, man. I wish they would I know there's some things that are so obvious that they just ignore. That's the thing that like
you know before they fix the guardian bug of the grab, they already nerfed the class on KR.
Dude, one of the things that I was thinking about because I was reading that Taiwanese interview that they had that had some interesting stuff in it kind of and like one of the things they talked about is that Archer's not going to get a succession. Like they have no plans to make a succession for Archer or Shy. But like one of the things like when people ask about balance, like awakening balance and succession balance, and if they're still focused on awakening, they say yeah, it's still important to them. They're going to work on it, and that whatever that they say like, but it's delicate, right? And they have to be careful. But I just feel like is it that delicate? Like it's not like an esport. It's an MMO. You know what I mean? And like if the balance is bad after 1 week, you could change it. The reason why I say that is because if you think about something like how let's just say they buffed. They gave the iframe back on Wolf's Frenzy on Mystic, right? Just to see how it plays out in large scale. Like if it doesn't work in a week, you just remove it. Like it's not that game breaking. But like the sea monster hunting thing was a problem for like a year and destroyed the economy and they didn't fix it. So like how delicate is it to like rebalance something? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Also, like it's not like they've completely changed the whole combat system like twice.
Yeah. So I just feel like, dude,
it's very delicate. That's why once every 1.5 to 2 years, we completely change the entire system of combat.
Yeah, I just wish they would be less scared to do balance changes and not feel like it has to be delicate.
Interviews. I stopped watching those interviews when I was once watching them, and they said, I think BDO have enough PvP content. And we are going to focus on PvE, and people are satisfied. People blamed about we are doing all these PvP changes. We need to do more about PvE. Okay. You have RBF, a single mode that played for so many years, and you didn't even add a single map to it.
No, dude, they
Yeah.
added it. They added a door. They added a door to one of the spawns.
Oh
Dude.
yeah, right. Oh.
They did
And
add a new door.
AOA, people liked it, but
Dude, you're
that's not enough.
forgetting. You're forgetting about the greatest PvP they ever added to the game, dude. Team
was
battles.
that-
Team battle.
Team battles.
Team battles.
Team
Dude,
battle in theory is so good. I wish they would fix it, man.
Oh yeah, when you asked me like which siege guild I was in Hiki back then, and I did team battle to win the castle or win the base or something, win the node.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Like we do the 1v1s, you know, and I was always the one to send out to do the 1v1s.
So, all right, we'll move on. Let's move on to this item. We have this new accessory. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture of it real quick. A new earring. So the new grind spot came out in Korea. The 2-person place at the monastery or whatever. That's at what is the place called? Bloody Monastery. So if you go like underground behind a couple cages or fences or whatever, you get to Bloody Monastery, and it's a 2-person grind spot that apparently hits pretty hard.
Yeah, recommended AP is 280, but the DP recommended is 331.
Yeah, like 331 DP. So, and they dropped I think an item to craft the new earring, and the new earring as a straight drop. I think both can drop there. I'm trying to find a picture of it. Here we go.
Mark of Shadow, price incoming, price change incoming.
I know it's already like sold out. Wait, why won't this let me translate the page? Here we go. All right, so the base AP is 4. I mean, it's literally an upgraded red coral earring. So the base AP is
2
4.
more AP.
Yeah, and then it starts off with only 30 stamina, 14 accuracy, and it goes up every level. And at Tet, it's 12 AP, 30 accuracy, 70 stamina, and Pen, it's 14, 34, and 100. So at Pen, it is pretty good. I don't know, like I just wish it had one more base AP, and it would actually make it like really, really great. I don't know. Because the problem with it being 14 AP, like it is really good, but it's so end game. Like you have to already be like over 300 AP for this to even matter. I feel like, because it's gonna be way more expensive than a Pen RCE. Rez, have you seen the earring? Here, I'm gonna send you this.
I have not, but I have been told about it, and I've been told that unless you are already like full pen Tet yellows, there's no point in even considering it.
Yeah, this is like end game.
Yeah, that's what I've been told. So that's why I haven't really looked into it. I was like, okay, good.
For this, I have different opinion about that. So currently, you know, a lot of classes have like very good succession classes have very good accuracy modifiers, and a lot of classes have evasion debuffs. Like say Guardian, you know, Guardian have the pre-awakening shift Q is 15% less evasion on target, and the pre-awakening like the jump right click, it's 10 seconds, 24% more accuracy. So they're nerfing evasion. But
right,
if your class does not have those, you need to have this one. Because some classes, like say ninjas, a succession ninjas is tanky as fuck. Like at the same DP, they're probably 50% more tankier than any other classes. So without this one, you do 0 damage to them. Like on global lab, we did some test on ninja with evasion build. It's not even like very high evasion, it's like 350 or something. Like 50% attacks was like 0 damage, which means it's evaded. So if you are a class without good modifiers, without evasion debuffs, you need this. even though you aren't below 300 AP. That's my opinion.
Don't forget to roll your Black Spirit, Dildo. Black Spirit board game.
Oh my god.
I just got +2 luck
I don't even log
for
on.
2 hours. Well, you need to log on and roll your dice. God damn it.
I wish I could log on, but they didn't give me the mystic. Yeah.
I mean, you are gonna try it though, right? Like when Succession comes out, you'll give it a try.
Oh, of course. I played the class for so long. Of course I will try it. I probably will make a video out of that too.
What about Guardian Awakening? You gonna try it on Wednesday, or are you still gonna just wait?
I don't have a Guardian alt my own,
Right, okay.
so I only play on Global Lab. If
I
I'm
see.
going to play Guardian, I'm going to do a full reroll, so it doesn't matter.
Why not go Ninja, man? Ninja's. I was saying, think about this. So, because a lot of people complain about Ninja and kind of have been for a long time, right? Like, even Ninja
Yeah.
Awakening before Succession. I keep telling people, like, just roll to Ninja because that's what happened with Mystic. Like, everyone was complaining about Mystic. It didn't get nerfed for a long time. And then eventually everyone had a Mystic grinding alt and a bunch of people played Mystic and then it got nerfed to shit. So you just got to get everyone on Ninja and then it'll get nerfed. Or everyone
Wow.
on the Sork.
Big brain.
Right?
Big brain.
That's how you do it. Man, Ninja's
Yeah.
grinding is actually easier than Mystic now. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like at Star's End,
Yeah.
I can pull like 4.7k with like just so easily compared to. I don't even know. What can you even get on Mystic? What did you get there? 4.4
Where?
at Star's End?
Stars and 4.4 at 283 Kudum maybe. 281. Yeah.
So at 285 Kudum, I can get like 4.7 on Ninja, and there's like ninjas that get even higher than I do.
Yes.
It's great,
The
and it's like
reason-
not even hard.
The reason I don't want to reroll to Ninja is because like Ninja's movements they connect together, but it's like you doing all your shit, but you don't have to care too much about just like Sork players sometimes, you know? You don't have to care too much about your opponent. You just focus on your own shit and you do your stuff and they die. So
Yeah, like Mystic was
I
more
like playing-
reactionary, right?
yeah, more reaction. Like you have to stay in the linguistic problem and check around, see like, oh, they're doing that. It's punishable. You can just go and punish that. Okay, they're just the shadow leaping coming and doing the midnight stinger. Oh, okay, I can punish that. Something like that. But Ninja, that's why I don't want. I don't like teaming up with Ninja in AOAs because they're so focused on their own shit and they sometimes ignore the surroundings.
What about Kuno? I feel like
Kuno
Kuno's
is
kind of
super good.
that middle ground, you
No.
know, where you,
No,
it's
yeah,
some
I
reactionary.
like Kuno. You know when I was in the disorder rise above the disorder tournament, I was going to ask Perky J, which is like my favorite Kuno player in the game, to join my team. But he quit the game already, so I didn't get to. But in my opinion, Kuno is like the top 3 AOA classes, and they can do a lot for their teammates because the light blast,
Hmm.
and what else? The rebound you can do slow.
Yeah, the
A lot
slow
of stuff you
debuffs.
can do to help your teammates and help the group fight instead of focusing your own shit. So
Yeah. All right, well, just ask me. You know, we could team up.
sure.
I'll
We
roll
have a
back to
chance
Kuno
next
though,
time.
but Ninja Grind's too good right now, so I gotta stay on my Ninja. Do you think the accuracy nerfs on Ninja are gonna be enough to help, like, make the damage feel less?
Man, like Ninja damage was always a mystery to me. Back then, when I started playing the game and I see Ninja Awakening Serpent can just one shot me, I was like, "What the fuck is this class?"
Yeah, I know. I would
I
like
have
when
no idea how bad the nerf going to be, but it's not going to be that bad, in my opinion.
yeah.
Ninja's combo ability is like super high, and they have some skills that's like they have better combo ability than Mystic, like to connect all the combos. They have so many choices. and they have so many high damage skills, so it doesn't matter. It won't change their 1v1 positions. And in large scale, it might change a bit, but I don't know much about that, so we will see.
Yeah, I remember we were in AOA like messing around I think we were doing 2v2s, and this was before the Kuno spin change, where Kuno actually like on trial characters. This is back when trial was like what was it? I think it was 251, 253 or something. Remember before like all the journals were out.
253 was the soft cap, yes.
Yeah, so it was on trial Kuno, and I was fighting against Sammy Boy, and I remember like there were times that like if my combo wasn't perfect and I didn't have every cooldown up, like I sometimes couldn't kill him. And then if he CC'd me like every time, Serpent would just take 75% of my health. It was like,
Yeah.
dude, this is so stupid. Man, people were complaining about spin damage.
It should be more damage than spinning because it's not protected, but it shouldn't be that much.
Yeah, it's kind of funny looking back at when everyone was complaining about spin, and now how low damage spin is now compared to Succession on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. That's all we got. We just do some comments.
They need to buff the protection thing in RBF. It does not last long enough.
The 12-second protection buff.
Oh man! Before
by the
time
you walk out of the fucking door, it's got like 3 seconds on it. It's so fucking useless.
I was complaining about the spawn camping for a whole year, and they didn't do anything to the map.
And not to mention, like, there's this fucking cancer shy just sits in our fucking door. Goddamn bongos. Dude, if you spawn camp in RBF, I actually hope you get coronavirus.
Are you on the red team?
Huh? No, I'm black.
Oh, you gotta camp on the black. Oh my god. Remember back in the days, only the red side get camped.
Well, they have like 10 more people than us because they don't feel like making it to where it balances teams out in this fucking game mode.
Like the joining mechanism is the laziest mechanism I've ever seen in any MMO. Like it's like one join. It doesn't even care about the numbers.
Yeah,
the gear scores. Gear scores is another level. I don't count on that because they're stupid.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah, this is just the most unfun thing I've ever done in my life. I can't even get out of spawn. They just have 10 more people than us, and they're just sitting at the fucking doors.
Alright, you guys down for comments? I'm gonna read these. You ready?
I'm down to quit this fucking game. That's what I'm down for.
Did you down to stay, Dildo, or do you gotta go?
I can stay.
Okay. The first question's kind of funny because it got posted yesterday. They said, Mark Kronberg says, any chance you can do a quick discussion on the current state of Mystic? I know the Succession is coming up soon and it might change things, but right now it seems like an all-around bad situation the second you try to enter the world of PvP unless you outgear people. Yeah, listen to podcast episode number 49 with DildoDragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of already answered that, but yeah, Mystics at really bad position. People nerf that in KR because there are so many geared Mystics. But in NA, we don't have that many geared Mystics, and people are suffering from that. PvE, PvP, large scale, 1v1, yes.
Yeah, give us back Magic DP and Renown score. Ignore the name says... so last week, I know, I was just kidding. Last week we were talking about a bounty hunting system. Like it would be cool to have a bounty hunting system. Ignore the name says also for the bounty hunting thing. What about instead of posting a bounty? What about if you opt into becoming a bounty hunter, like a life skill, and for players you kill successfully, there's a person in each city. Players can register to be a bounty hunter, let's say 60 plus, so it's not flooded with noob accounts, and then the person themselves can hire a bounty hunter for X amount of silver, and they get the reward if they complete the task. I'd say it's taxes until you level up bounty hunting, then you get more out of the cut. Also, you can hire one bounty hunter at a time, and they have like a week or whatever to complete it, so more people could get hired. Maybe even have a cooldown with one person can be hired. Could be abused, but I feel like having it to level up would be kind of stop it in a way of a life skill and level gated. I don't know, just a suggestion.
I feel very weird about this opinion of bounty hunting. Like, what do you get from killing people in this game? Nothing. People lose nothing from this killing feed either. And if it's a bounty system, like, it's going to cause so much drama. I mean, it's not bad, but you know.
Yeah, I was thinking. My idea was this. I think it would be cool to have a bounty system that you could opt in as like someone that could be hunted. So like your name would show up on the map, right? Like if you opt in, you can like log in, get on your PvP character, opt in, and once you opt into a spot, you have to like survive and you have to stay in the parameters of like a grind zone for an hour or whatever the time is, and people can see where you are on the map at all times. So if you can survive an hour, the longer you survive, you get like more money for surviving, and then if someone kills you, they get a reward. Like something along those lines to just make like open world more interesting.
But how do you prevent from zerging?
Yeah, get zerged. I think that would be the fun of it, knowing people are chasing you.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that would be. I mean, maybe I'm crazy, but I think it would actually be kind of fun to be like knowing people are coming after you. They could see you on the map, and you're trying to like kill them as they come, or just get away.
All right, guys. Whenever we implement this system, I'm putting 1 million silver on Frosty. I expect every single listener of the podcast to take me up on it, and go take him out and have fun.
All right, moving on. Adam Menon Spaz says, thanks for the consistently sweet content. Have you ventured into the world of analyzing the BDO market for profit? Also, Blade Boquez is a god amongst men. You should have him on. I think Reslar learned most of his warrior PvP from Blade Boquez, if I'm not mistaken.
Big true.
For real?
Big true. He taught me everything I know.
Oh my god, you mean like solo flare then like 100%?
Yeah, I did.
Does Blade Boquez even really play anymore? I feel like he doesn't. I don't even know.
I don't think so. I think he was
probably
playing.
has
He was.
something- No,
He was
listen,
playing
we probably
Xbox,
have
right?
four stable of cargo and there's something in it, you know,
Yeah.
and come back a year after and okay, 700 gear score from not playing BDO a year.
Yeah, exactly. Lucas C says, hey guys, it's me again. Don't know if you remember me, but I related my gear back in September. Got a pen late, and well, boys, things are looking good for me now. I'm nearly fully recovered and even got into a top 5 siege guild. Then found out Reslar hates my current guild. LOL. I'm in Barcode, by the way. As always, keep up the good work. Looking forward to the next episode. P.S. Hopefully Striker Succession is good. Do you hate Barcode, Reslar? Is that true?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
I will never shy away from that. Fuck that guild.
He doesn't like Barcode because they made a deal with Clash and then let Clash die on a territory.
They didn't make a deal with Clash. They're just fucking selfish assholes. And then they pretend like they give a shit when everyone knows they don't. Like, just take off the mask, dude. It's so fucking fake.
This is a Red Battlefield Reslar talking. All right, the awkward ninja says
I'm playing Legends of Runeterra now. Now I'm having fun. I left that shit. I was like, get me out of here.
The awkward ninja says, fucking Lamau, the archer who commented on episode 47 talking about ooking things down. Speak for yourself, you ranged ook. Anyway, I think the tier list for the tier list PvE and PvP should be separate, especially a lot of players in Global Lab Discord, besides the salty wizards, are pushing for trying to equalize PvE across classes since the damage numbers for PvE and PvP are separate. Only CC debuffs and buffs are universally applied. It also seems like they are much more aggressively balancing the game than they have ever done in the past. They have buffed and nerfed things for like 3 successive weeks. That has to be a record. Dude, if you remember way back in the day, Dildo, maybe you could go remember back this far. Do you remember before Mystic was out? Probably around the time Striker was out, after DK launch, all the way until maybe Mystic was out, there was balance changes, like major balance changes, like every 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I remember that.
And it would just be like, I don't know, like random ass shit, like damage buff, or they made skills like connect together
change
faster.
the skill, more hits. Yes.
Yeah, like all sorts of stuff. So I don't. It's yeah. After the CC changes, they kind of slowed down for some reason. I don't get why. It's odd. I think that the balance change stuff was cool because it changed the meta regularly, right? Like right now, we've kind of been in the same meta for such a long time that I don't know. Change. Well, the Succession has changed it.
The only
but
matter changes is the gear. Like you become evasion focused, you could become DR focused again. Evasion get nerfed. You get more HP. Like nothing about the playstyle. Just
yeah.
like life scaling or something.
By the way, Lucas here, I forgot to say, congrats on getting your gear back after that pen lane. That's fucking crazy. Chuck Hobo says, Rezar, Chuck Hobo says, why are you so mad at Barcode when it's an open world PvP game? Yeah, Rez.
What?
He says, why are you so mad at Barcode when it's an open world PvP game?
I'm not computing.
The question seems like you think you had issue with them because you got killed in the open field.
Yeah. No, Rezlar hates their politics.
I feel like that's a troll, but in case it's not, I have no issue with Barcode because of anything in open world. It's that they're a shit siege guild.
Feishin 1997 says, I sense an incredible amount of salt over Barcode offering Clash a region. Dude, this is getting some steam.
Oh.
I like this.
Oh.
Gotta get this drama going. I too sense the salt. I mean, Rezlar quit BDO because Barcode was too much for him. Now he's playing Runeterra.
Yeah, dude. Legends of Runeterra. At least get the name right. Jesus. No, and also it wasn't like you can't put that in a vacuum. It wasn't that they offered Clash a region, so that's why I'm upset. It's the fact that they dropped Balanos to quote unquote have fun, fucked the whole region, just basically 1v1'd us, so that's fun. And then like 3 weeks later, they're like, "Oh, we're trying to get guilds into Siege. You guys want a region?" Like, how about if you want to get guilds into Siege, don't drop on fucking Balanos, you assholes.
Man, to be honest, all these Siege guilds, none of them are clean. None of them are innocent.
No, they're all selfish.
Yep.
At least what? What were we going to say, Dildo?
I was going to say they did those shitty stuff at least once or twice.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, I understand all the Siege guilds are like that. And like, while I find it annoying that Siege guilds like complain about no competition and then refuse to allow there to be like competition to be bred by constantly interfering in the lower regions, like you can't have it both ways, you fucking idiots. But it's like, at least they're like, they don't pretend. Like, they're not like, oh yeah, we're trying to, help this guild, so we're gonna give them the region and all this shit.
There are just two type of players. One players, they like challenge. Like they don't want to do like empower fights. You just one guy and kill everybody and just slaughter your own people. And the other player is like, just try to bully people, zerging people. The winning is the only focus, the only purpose there. And if the guild feels good about it, like feeling good about killing a lot like easy targets, they are good about it.
Yeah.
My favorite thing is when Black Rose is going to hand off to Vexus and knows Vexus can't do anything in the castle and then just farms them for an hour. And then puts up a video the next day.
Oh, did you guys see the Vexus video?
Yeah, the meme one.
Yeah, I liked it.
Poor Vexus.
So
dude.
funny.
Poor Vexus. Origami says, I love the artwork. It's just missing the reroll coupon stuffed in Frosty's pockets. LOL. True.
Big true. Big true.
Reno says, I thought Rezlar or Rhino. Fuck, I forgot. He told us. Was it Rhino? I'm going to say Rhino. Rhino said, I thought Rezlar was at 150% weight for so long when watching him grind on his Guardian.
Yeah,
True.
it's just that slow.
That shit is slow, dude. Kelly's Rigby, and this is why I stayed with Awakening Musa. Bloody PA. Also, the bounty idea. I thought it up as I was hearing you guys on the last podcast. Also, that shaky statement was hilarious. Ha ha ha. For the bounty, if someone or people from the same guild want to up multiple bounties on the same person, the bounty should be tripled from the initial bounty, and the bounty gets 40% of the bounty if they survive. Maybe if they kill the person that set bounty, also the person has to be in game for the bounty to hold, and only bounty should know what server the bounty placer is on. I don't. Maybe they need like just an honor system that just you just get points for killing people. Let us grief, you know, or maybe make
we drop-
channels.
You mean the opposite of the karma system?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe we drop the bounty idea and start pushing for RBF reform instead.
Well, you know, the thing is that's crazy about the bounty ideas in my head, it sounds really cool, and then every time I like hear out ideas, it just sounds so complicated. Like, yeah, new RBF maps and like some sort of RBF with actual like objectives where you have to take over points and flags or something would be awesome. Small Dick Stole Your Girl says, yeah, I hate console players. They got it so easy. His name is Small Dick Stole Your Girl.
Oh my god.
So he says, I hate console players. Now they got it so easy. Yeah, because I think he's talking about because their marketplace is like.
Yeah.
One of the console players, Dildo, was telling us that like pen weapons are like 6 billion silver on console.
Oh my god.
And they sit on buy, so you can just buy them.
Like, but I don't understand why they're jealous of that too, though, because like it's complete different platform. Console players, they don't play that much as like MMO PC players, and it's too different to market. You can just play Global Lab and get everything at a pen. Like, why do you care about that?
I'm jealous. I'm jealous of Global Lab players' gear, dude.
No, you can't get that gear to the PC platform. That's a problem. Yeah, as long as they are staying in the same platform, like if you can get that, and I can get that on console too. That's fine. That's fair.
Yeah. Lord X says, solid episode. I finally hit full pen on Xbox. Yes, V's on console are super cheap. Pens on console are super cheap to buy off the central market. Still need to get a pen neuver, but I'm praying we get the reroll coupon soon with Caphras. I want to be over 9,000. I also lost my spot as highest gear score EU. A guildie got 2 gear score on me at 598. Yeah, on console they're like full pen and they don't even have Caphras stones yet. Clayton Alexander says, you were happy to make 20 to 30 mil an hour as a decently geared player back in the day, grinding centaurs, crescents, Pilaku, anywhere. True. I miss grinding crescents, dude. And the PvP there. Although people would grief, man. That's the one thing I do like about like Histria or Secrea. It's like way less just people just in their karma bombing and taking your mobs. Clayton also says, pertaining to new players, Frosty's absolutely right. BDO these days is very much easy mode from a few years ago. The game literally starts players now at 200 AP, 220 DP from free quest gear and accessories. It literally gives you everything you need. It seems maybe too often new players don't know about this or skip the main quest line, so maybe that needs to be addressed more. Also, you can get to level 61 in 4 or 5 days just doing questing for these items and start getting things like Kaposha accessories from there. Veterans actually get pretty annoyed on a regular basis to the amount of handouts new players receive. We can go on and on about the old market, obtaining boss gear, enhancing from scratch, no crown stones, no free accessories, etc., etc. TLDR, run your main quest lines.
Well, I don't think that's appropriate because like in a game, if they need newcomers, and newcomers will think about like how long do I need to catch up with, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have those, people see, okay, it takes that many hours. BDO was notorious for being grindy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if all the people like my friends said, okay, what game are you playing? I said BDO. Oh, that grinding game, I don't want to play it.
Right. Yeah, I think I mean, I've always said I've had some friends that I debated with in the past where they think like new players shouldn't get anything and they should start from scratch. But I just feel like, why? Like, what's the point? Just catch them up. I don't care, honestly.
Yep.
Talented Sniping says, I'm a new player on both platforms. In the last 5 months, by no means made it to endgame on either account. Here is semi-short form. 1. Game on console is straight garbage. I'm amazed if it's at 20 FPS and you can see animations. 2. Game doesn't tell you anything for the most part. You would be incredibly lost if you didn't watch a lot of YouTube and Google a lot. That's true.
Yeah.
3, if you do your research, new player experience is great. I haven't even grinded, and I have a Tricudum, Trizarca. I haven't even finished Kama Story, and you can progress very fast. Frosty's point is great. It's a sandbox, so it makes sense it doesn't directly guide you down a perfect path. And then 4, basically, bottom line, it's an MMO that is multiple years old. Most times that means yes, you will be way behind. Yes, there's an overwhelming amount of content, but the experience is still great if you like the general gameplay. By no means an expert, and you could talk for hours about this, but just a couple of points. Yeah.
Mhm.
True. I mean, that's the thing too, is like, it is a sandbox, so it doesn't really like force you to do shit. When I first played BDO, I was confused as fuck. I was like,
You can,
even like the
I-
interface, like the
You know,
questing interface.
ever since I played the game from like day one, the amount of time I did live scaling or all the other stuff is probably like only 10% of my gaming time.
Yeah.
I just don't like do that at all. You don't have to.
All right. General Morris has a long comment, so here we go. So he says, "What I meant by CC." So last week he said that he thinks it's easier to fight against ninjas or Succession in general. I think
Succession
he
ninjas.
meant ninja because he said they CC themselves. He said, what I meant by CC themselves is that they sort of just have way more gaps in exchange for massive damage and thus run into my CC when I didn't intend for it to happen. Against the average suck ninja, for example, they're almost comically easy to stiffen or get behind them compared to Awakening. The only thing that makes them a threat at the moment is the AoE damage that nearly rips my head off in one hit. Now, of course, if I fight someone like Yellow on his Suck Ninja, it's much more difficult, not only because of the damage present, but because of his mastery of the class. Another example would be Kairim Nayashi on their Suck Kits versus the average player on their Suck Kits. Average Musa Mewa players take a little more time to CC trap, but Suck version seems to just run in, try to ook, and then get caught. Kairim Nayashi, however, obviously not like that. It's very challenging to fight their Suck Kits, even more so than their Awakening currently. The point I'm trying to make is that isn't that good players are better than average players, but that Suck Kits as a whole lack so much made away kits formidable, in my opinion. The only thing that feels formidable from them when fighting a typical player on these kits is the damage, at least for me. Perhaps the warp view on it, but they just aren't all that fun to fight because most players use the kits to chunk people instead of playing for catches since it's effective. Those nerfs coming earlier than expected, flavor of the month. Players about to get BTFO. What's BTFO?
Good question.
Internet speak. Something the fuck out. Bitched? Buffed?
Beat?
Beat? I
Maybe?
don't know. We'll see some people like Yellow, Kairim, Nayashi, Mamo remain on Suck kits shine while the others move back to wherever it is they came from. Also, Rip Ranger again, PA going overboard on the nerfs per usual against her. It needed tweaking, but those Global Lab nerfs looking to be way too much in my opinion. She'll always be a punching bag for PA. Stay safe, Ranger mains, and weather yet another storm. Nayashi is so toxic with that burn, made me smile, to be honest. I'm still holding out hope that Archer Suck never becomes a thing. That's confirmed. It's not. Seeing Guardian get sucked before Archer was even mentioned is also final word on it from PA, in my opinion. Only way it happens now is if they're trying to figure it out, and it's so behind they can't even tease it. Also, we do have the wonderful Lawnful costume, but where's my Edgelord costume? Feels bad, man. Maybe 2020 we'll get something like Doomsday. So I still feel like the thing with Succession is that I don't even know if there are really more openings or if it's just people are not to that level yet. Because there's going to be a point like 6 months from now where Yellow and Kairim and Nayashi and Mamo are way better than they are today, and then the average player is closer to what those players are today. and then it won't be like as easy, I guess. At least from my point of view. And if I look at it like specifically versus the Archer matchup, on Kuno specifically, like Kuno has it's really hard to gap close on a good Archer on Kuno. And I feel like on Kuno Succession, it's so much easier because of the new movement abilities. So on Kuno specifically, I feel like I can actually try to get a catch on an Archer, and on Ninja it's really hard. Or it's harder anyway, because of the lack of stance shift and silent charge.
Also, I turned my Luan Wolf costume into my Edgelord costume. Morse, I'll show you it sometime.
Talented Sniping says Lamau not racist whatsoever. Guess political correct terms would be that art style is straight trash. IMO. People are way too sensitive now. I forgot what's that in reference to?
I think he said something about like Eastern art style, and we made a joke about.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like
come on, people only like racist about black people when it's towards Asian or other races. They don't care about it.
Yeah, dude, we were just fucking with you. We're not. We weren't serious about you being racist, dude. We don't give a fuck.
Yeah, Will Motto says you guys released a video just a little earlier than the KR patch having the Sork nerfs and the new earring. Oh yeah, I should probably talk about the Sork nerfs real quick. So they changed the Sork nerfs on Global Lab because originally it was just Abyssal Flame and Dream of Doom. They removed the Dream of Doom one entirely, so they're not nerfing Dream of Doom damage at all. They're keeping the Abyssal Flame nerf, but they nerfed Bloody Calamity damage, and they nerfed Dark Flame damage, and they nerfed the last hit of Black Wave damage in PvP. So the nerfs are actually more significant than originally thought. So that's kind of
Glad
interesting.
to see that.
Also,
Succession's damage is too much.
Yeah,
the
that's crazy.
spammable Abyssal Flame with the E buff.
It's Q. It's basically Q buff on Zerker now. It's crazy.
Oh my god, it's Q buff of Watcher, man.
All right. Fistlatute says, "I'm calling you out, guys. I watched this with lyrics, and YouTube confirmed you guys are scammers. Your names aren't Rezlar and Frosty. It's Rose Lord and Frosting. Anyway, love your content. Keep it up, boys." Yeah, dude. YouTube and man, I don't know how after all these years Google Translate is still so horrible.
Wait. Is my thing bugged, or did you skip like 2 comments?
Oh no, you're right. I did. I scrolled down.
Okay,
I
just wanted to make sure I wasn't crazy.
I overscrolled. Capri YPR says, "I'm a simple Meiwa main. I see Nayashi, I click." And then Gudendrunk says, "Lakari only streams BDO to get his viewership up because it tanks when he plays other games. In regards to Rangers suck nerfs, I can't justify one skill being triple nerfed down. Down attack, hits, and percentage. I don't understand as it affects grinding significantly. Same with Descending Current as it was a major grinding tool. Prime Charging Wind with being triple nerfed to cooldown, no SA when used on cooldown PvP damage was also too much. The charge takes 3 seconds to do. You can't move with it charging, and it's also AoE is essentially single target. They should have moved the damage into other skills that aren't useful. Working on document about what needs to be fixed in Awakening and what needs work in Succession. Hadn't had a chance to finish up. And need to test Succession if it's viable afterwards. I'll let you know when it's done." Yeah, I agree. I agree for the most part. I actually think the charging wind nerf is okay, and the descending current nerf is okay. I just think the triple nerf on blasting gust is kind of absurd. And I do completely agree with like on some of the skills that aren't very good should be brought up a little bit to kind of fill this space. I think would be good.
So, allow me to repeat myself earlier. I did feel bad for Rangers until that RBF. Now they can go fuck themselves, nerf them into the ground. Because that was ridiculous what that Ranger did to me. No lube or nothing, just went straight in.
Fizz story of Razlar's life. Fizz Lutet says, "I'm calling you." Oh, wait, that's the one I read and skipped everything else. All right, I'm Legendary Mike says, "Call me an idiot, but Guardian feels like what Valk should have been." All right, first of all, I'm old enough to remember when Valk was originally fucking busted as shit. When Mystic Awakening came out, Valk was like the one class that just dominated Mystics.
Oh my god.
Do you remember?
Everybody like is doing like 50% of my HP for the whole combo, and Valk just one skill me. Terra
Dude.
Sector.
And they were so hard to CC too because the lingering super armor plus 2 heals plus
Yeah.
range CC. Like think about it, like
Yeah.
everything they did had super armor because of the lingering block super armor. Like
And they have vacuum too, and their vacuum after their cast, they can do a lot of stuff after that. Not like Mystic, you have to stay on the ground.
And their movement was insane back then because the stamina wasn't really an issue, and they could spam shit and then just throw in the Q block in between with the cancels and just have protected movement forever. It was fucking nuts. Yeah, Guardian feels like no. I mean, the thing is, I think Awakening Valk is kind of in a weird place, but Succession Valk's fucking crazy strong right now. So, Austin Lasser says, make this hypothetical bounty system allow you to steal guild funds from other guilds. See, now that's dope. I'm down to steal guild funds from other guilds. So you kill this, you kill the bounties player in Snake, you steal 100 mil from them into your guild, or the system itself just gives you your guild money. You could be a bounty hunting guild where you do payouts for the bounties you collect over the course of a week. That idea would be kind of fun, stealing money from Snake.
Sure, dude. More like Snake will get all your money.
I know, yeah. That's the sad part about it. Is the end result will be Snake will be taking everyone else's money, and they actually show up to GVGs like crazy. They're weird like that. Ignore the name says, finally another video. You all need to make more of these. They are so addicting. Great info. Love the guests all around. Good job, Reslar, Frosty, Nayashi. And as I said, last video was Lahn, now Ninja, but will not become Frosty. Sorry, Frosty. LOL, reroll fever. Last video was Lahn, now oh. But will not become Frosty.
Yeah, I think he's saying he's not going to become a perma reroller.
Oh, you should. Dude, here's what I do. It seems there's two options. You have two options if you play BDO and you play it a lot. You either A could be like Reslar or every other Zerker and DK in the world that just complains about balance every single day and just talks off their friends' ears and makes them not want to play with them. Or B, you just re-roll to the strongest class and enjoy the game.
Wait, that's why I'm Archer.
I can talk about a little bit about that topic too. So I've been playing a lot of MMOs like for about over 15 or 16 years. So I play fighting games, right?
Boomer.
So the best part, how do you get to know like your counter class well to play the class, right?
True.
So if you're having a hard time fighting ninja as a mystic, go play the class for a while. It will know the class better than you fighting like the class for over a decade.
Right. True. Also, I need to say before I forget, I have to say this in every episode going forward. Successions need to be put on trial characters. I don't know what's taking so long. And 2, super armor on Shadow Explosion for Kuno, please. All right, Conan.
It's not gonna happen.
Conan says Sork nerfs
They
have
better
been...
put iframe on moving shot before that shit, or I'm gonna be pissed.
No. Wait, moving shot is not even a succession skill. What? Sork nerfs have been increased even more. Thoughts? The nerfs are good. The initial, like Methios who replied, the initial nerf was a little bit light. Maybe they overdid it. No, I think the nerfs are good, honestly. Bloody Calamity is completely protected AoE skill that hits twice and heals you, and then you can throw it as well for extra damage, and that also heals you. It was kind of insane with a pretty low cooldown, so that skill needed to get nerfed. Abyssal Flame probably still needs to be nerfed. I still just think the solution to Abyssal Flame, just don't let people use it when it's on cooldown. Like, just don't let it be castable.
Can you still spam the WC Abyssal Flame and it's charged?
You mean SC?
Yeah, SC.
The turn backslash one? I'm not 100% sure because we don't have it on live and I haven't tested it on Global Labs. I'm not sure. Hopefully not. God, I hope not. Because it's so stupid. It doesn't use stamina. It's so dumb. Psycho says 360 gang. Austin Laster is Poggers. DeGensel says first. So, yep, that's all of our comments. Dilda, thank you for coming out and hanging out with us, man. Thank you for
inviting me.
Taking a step back into the BDO world for a little bit to talk about Mystic and your sad times and sadness and all the nerfs.
Well, I still care. I still care about the game. It's just that they are moving towards a direction I don't want to see. So
yeah, what if they should just remove super armor from Rage Hammer on Mystic only, but leave it on Striker? You know what I mean? Just to put the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah. It's already the final nail when they nerfed the Wolf Frenzy to me.
Or Mass Destruction. What if Mass Destruction had no super armor on Mystic?
Also, I just want them to focus more on competitive PvPs, like ranked AOAs.
Yeah, they need to put ladder.
If I can play a ladder in BDO, that consume a lot of time. Not like now, I only log in for Siege. Oh, like a year ago, I only log in for Siege and Tournament.
Yeah. All right. So, do you have any places where people that listen could find you? Your YouTube or Twitch or anything? What's your YouTube channel?
I have a YouTube channel, but I only upload a video. I'm super lazy on the channel. You can see that.
Okay. But, we'll link it in the description. But you'll have I assume you'll have Mystic Succession stuff in there when it comes out.
Yep.
Okay. And thanks again for coming on. If you guys have listened to the show, share it on Discord, Reddit with your friends in game, whatever. Spread the word, get the show out there. Thank you for listening and all that stuff. It's kind of late here. We usually don't record late. It's kind of weird.
It's fucking midnight for me.
Okay, whatever, dude.
10 o'clock.
It's even worse for Dildo. He's in China. Just kidding.
I don't think that's true.
But 10 o'clock, I still have time for a bar.
Yeah. It's time to go to the bar, dude. All right, Rosar, did you want to add anything?
No, we're good. Fix RBF, thanks.
Fix RBF.